Yo, what is going on, my beautiful people? It's creamslice. We are back again, and I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I hope this season is treating you well so far. So, man, have I got a banging Titan build for you guys. I was playing around with this, and I thought this is good to go. So we are totally going to be abusing the thunderclap, clapping them cheeks, just clapping the hell out of people. We're going to be using it back to back. We're going to be chaining our abilities constantly. We're going to be abusing the whole Arc 3.0 subclass rework with this build. So stick with me, guys. You are going to absolutely love it, and I hope you love it as much as I did. Everybody who's shown me love over the past few days, wow, the Warlock build really took off, and I'm so glad that there's a lot of people commenting now in the comment section. I absolutely love your feedback, whether it's you're talking about the builds, whether you like the build, or if you don't like the build, if there's certain adjustments you guys would like to make to the build. Like, I love that shit. I'm so glad everybody is starting to feel free to comment in the comments, whether it be good or bad. There's no good or bad in the comments, apart from I made a little my bad moment, you know, quote unquote, with the extra reserves in the last Warlock build. No, it doesn't work without using a void weapon, so use high energy fire. Just clear that up, guys, so I apologize about that. So if you're new to the channel, drop a like, leave a sub. We're going full steam ahead with these builds. All my regular viewers, thank you for your continued support, your loyalty. It means a lot to me. You already know it does. So if you can let the video play out to the end, you'll be doing me a huge favor. So let's get into clapping some cheeks. Well, we are here at the subclass screen, and we are going to be taking advantage of the Thunder Crash. With this build, we are going to be using the synthoceps with this build. You can use caress with this build, but I thought I need a passive type of play because there's a lot of gameplay loop going on with this build, and it's not just about deleting the bosses. Although it packs a hell of a punch, it's not that kind of build. So with the synthoceps, they give you a 200% damage increase to your melee when you are surrounded, and it also gives you a massive 50% damage increase to your super when you're surrounded. So now you can kind of see where we're going with this build. We're using the new class ability called Thruster, which is a really nice mobility move for the Titan. It's nice to see them getting around a bit. You know, they're a bit chunky around the hips, so it's nice for them to be able to do the old snake hips and dodge a few bullets. We're using the Thunderclap, guys. This is going to be the main base of this build. We are going to be using this back to back. Really nice melee to have. Like I said, we're going to be backing it up with the synthoceps, which makes it even more deadly, and a few other mods to fully abuse the thunderclap and start clapping dregs and some of the cabal's booties. And we are using the pulse grenade because it is possibly the strongest grenade right now with some of the aspects that Titans have. If we look at the aspect number one, we have knockout. So guys, like, we're starting from the base up with this build. Knockout is such a phenomenal aspect. You don't actually realize how much this benefits your playing style if you are going for the all fists build like we are today. Basically, knockout, critically wounding or breaking your enemy's shield. It pretty much gives you health back, but now defeating targets with melee attacks starts health regeneration, and it makes you amplified. So just if you guys don't know about knockout, this is such a powerful aspect because you don't need a charge melee to proc knockout, and this is why it's such a phenomenal build with synthoceps, because you don't need a charge melee. So you could equip melee Wellmaker and don't have a melee charge up and still create elemental wells. This is how strong this aspect really is. So make sure you are running high resilience and high strength, because we want to be getting the thunderclap back within seconds. And we are using Touch of Thunder, which increases our pulse grenade, and it also gives us ionic traces feeding into our ability loop that we've got going on. Spark of resistance, we've got spark of shock. Your arc grenades jolt targets, which is a nice touch to the already powerful pulse grenade. Spark of recharge, while critically wounded you regain melee grenade energy. This also plays into our ability loop that we've got going on, so it's, as you can see already, it's pretty much infinity abilities right off the bat. And the last fragment we've got is spark of magnitude, which will increase the duration of our pulse grenade, making more ionic traces and making it more deadly. So if we go over the Titan exotic really quickly, biotic enhancement is a perk, and it increases our melee lunge range, and it improves our melee and super damage when we're surrounded by 3 or more enemies. Like I stated before, it's a 200% damage increase inside of PvE for your melee and a 50% damage increase to your super. We are connecting it with the Well of Irons, so when I was explaining to you about the knockout aspect, we can just creating arc elemental wells, which is what we're going to do because it's an important part of this build puzzle. So we are going to be making arc elemental wells, and when we pick one of them up, our next melee hit will have an increased damage of 35% thanks to the Well of Irons, which will stack on top of biotic enhancements, taking your punches over the top. And then we're using the new artifact mod, Focusing Strike, grants class ability energy when you cause damage with your melee. So we're using the thruster, and I'll go over what that does after, how that blends in with the build. So we're already gaining class ability for our thruster there, and we have momentum transfer, so when we're causing damage with our grenades, we're getting our melee back from that as well. On the chest piece here, we've got elemental charge, so when we're picking up elemental wells, we become charged with light. You already know this is a fan favorite of mine. I absolutely love this mod, and we've got the new artifact mods, the thermoshock plating to give us solar and arc resist. We've doubled that up there. So on the boots, we've got the ever steady melee well maker, so we are making elemental wells with our fists, which is part of why we use synthoceps in the first place. Fuck guns, we're using fists and we're using thunder. We are going to become the actual thunder god, Raiden, all that good shit. We are just lightning smacking booties all over the place, like we are just pimp slapping with a bit of salt and a bit of thunder and just causing havoc. That's what we were put on this galaxy to do. And we've got innovation, so when we pick up orbs of power, it will also feed into our grenade cooldown. And we've got recuperation, so when we pick up an orb of power, we get some health back. The Titan mark, we have got bountiful wells, so when we are getting melee kills, we will now get 2 arc elemental wells, which will make us charge with light, but it will also feed back into our energy regen. So we've also got ionic traces, we have elemental wells, and we have orbs of power, all feeding into this really classy loop of just destruction, man. And we've got 2 bomber mods on there, so when I was explaining to you about regenning our class ability using the thruster, we will shave about 15 seconds off our grenade cooldown with 2 bomber mods, which is really nice, as our grenades will play a really nice part in this build as well. Then this would not be a thunderclap spam build without the mod heavy handed. So guys, if you are familiar with this art mod, basically when you are charged with light, like we're going to be all the time, every time you use your thunderclap, you are going to get 50% extra back as soon as we use it. Pairing that with 100 strength and all of the mods we are using in this gameplay loop just allows us to have our thunderclap back to back. It is just destruction all over the place. So we've got the damage buff from our synthoceps with our super and our normal melees, thunderclap melee. We've got Well of Irons increasing our damage with our next melee, and we have just increase on all ability, guys. This is no joke. This Titan build is exactly what you are looking for. There will be a dim link down below stating the exact loadout, the way that I have it set up now. And we have harmonic siphon on there. If you are using an arc weapon, you can create orbs of power feeding into all our abilities. And the absolute cherry on top, if you are looking for an arc special weapon, I recommend using this new fusion rifle. This also creates ionic traces which feed back into your abilities also. So yeah guys, that's a build. 100 resilience, 100 strength, and you are good to go. If you have made it this far, thank you very much for watching and staying focused. I love you all. I'm creamslice. See you in the next video. Peace.